Hi everybody, welcome to the Messy Cook by Dale. Thanks so much for joining us today. Thank you for your support and for your recipe ideas. Perfect, I love it. Today we're going to be doing a summer favorite. It's gazpacho, and it's a cold soup that we make in the summertime. It's so refreshing, and it has Spanish origins, gazpacho. It's even mentioned in early Greek and Roman literature, and it came and immigrated actually to Spain probably in the 16th century, and it's morphed over the years. And today we're going to be doing a tomato-based gazpacho. So we're going to start off with tomatoes, and I buy San Marzano tomatoes. They're in a can like this, they're very high quality tomatoes. They are DOP tomatoes, and what that means is Denominazione d'origine protetta. There you go. So it's actually a way of protecting how these tomatoes are grown and how they're picked and how they're packaged or canned. They are very high quality. They are grown at the base of Mount Vesuvius. And when I went to Italy several years ago, we visited Pompeii and Mount Vesuvius. They introduced me to San Marzano tomatoes. So they're the very best. And we buy these at Burkici, which is a small grocery store in St. Leonard. It's worth the trek. It really is. They are more expensive, but it's worth it because they're very plump and beautiful. So we're going to start with two 28-ounce cans of tomatoes, and I'm going to put that in my food processor and try not to make a mess. So these have been drained, and this recipe calls for tomato juice, but I thought, because they're such premium tomatoes, I am going to use the tomato juice that I took from the tomatoes. So that goes in later. So we put in the tomatoes in the food processor. We also put in 4 scallions that have been roughly chopped, a quarter of a cucumber that has been seeded but the peel is on, a half of a green pepper, and a whole big red onion, a big one. That goes in there as well. Okay, so we're going to whiz this. Now, you don't want to make it, you're going to put garlic in there as well. That's 6 cloves of garlic. It's a lot of garlic, but it's good. So you don't want to puree this. At least you can if you want to, but I like it to be a bit textured and has some bigger pieces in it. So we're going to pulse it. This is such a great soup in the summertime. You know, you can serve it with a salad, or you can serve it with some nice bread. Also sandwiches maybe. You know, it's really, really refreshing. Okay, that looks good. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, check this out. Beautiful. Oh, it smells so good. That's the perfect consistency that I'm looking for. Okay, so this goes over here, out of the way. And you're going to take a big bowl, and you're going to put all of this into there. Make sure you get it all. There we have that. Let me get this mess out of the way. I'm trying so hard not to be messy. You have no idea. Okay, so there we have that part. Now, we're going to be adding the garlic. I did the garlic, sorry. And then we're going to be adding vinegar, red wine vinegar. That's a half cup of red wine vinegar. I go through so many different kinds of vinegar in this house. We have red wine, we have white wine, balsamic, white balsamic, apple cider vinegar. I love vinegar. Okay, so there's a half a cup of red wine vinegar. That goes in there. We have half a cup of good EVOO, extra virgin olive oil. Let me make sure it's a half a cup. Yes, half a cup of olive oil. It's really a very simple soup, and it's so good, so delicious, refreshing, and very healthy, obviously, and it's vegan, as you can see. There's that. Okay. Olive oil. Celery salt. You're going to put in a half a teaspoon of celery salt. That goes in there. A quarter of a teaspoon of crushed red peppers. I'm going to eyeball it and just give it a pinch. Maybe a little bit more spicy. And tomato juice, 1.5 cups. So this is the drained tomato juice from the tomatoes, and this is quite a bit. This is 2 cups, but I'm going to put in 1.5, roughly. That looks good. Okay, give it a whiz here with, oh, this looks so lovely. Okay, so we're gonna do tomato paste, 2 tablespoons. Now I buy this kind of tomato paste because I don't want to open up a little tin and just take 2 tablespoons out, and what do I do with the rest of it? So these tubes are really great, and I get this at Berkichi as well. I also get my cheese, my Parmesan cheese there, and they will even grate it for me if I want. So they have everything there. You really should, if you can, take the trek out there. It's well worth it. It's so much fun. It's all imported from Italy. Beautiful. I get my pasta there. I get fresh pasta. We get our sausages, bread, all kinds of stuff. Spices, of course, tomatoes, tomato paste, all that. Okay, so that's 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Let's have some kosher salt. Some black pepper to taste. This looks so good. Come in close on this, Den. Look at this. This will feed 4 easily. Okay, there you have it. I'm going to take a little taste because that is the soup. Oh, it's really good. A little more salt. Okay, so this has to sit in the fridge now for 4 hours or overnight because it has to be ice cold, and you want all the flavors to marry up. So I'm going to put it in the fridge. I'm going to put a plastic wrap on top. I'm going to put it in the fridge for at least 4 hours, like I said, or overnight, but for us it'll be 4 hours. And when we come back, I'll show it to you. And I'm also going to show you a garlic herb goat cheese spread that we're going to put on crostini to go with this. So that'll be in our next section. So that's it. See you in about 4 or 5 hours. Have a good afternoon, everybody. Hi, everybody. We're back to make the garlic herb cheese log. But before we go on, we realized when we went to playback that you didn't really hear Dan tell us what DOP means. So nice and loud, Dan, what does DOP mean? Denominazione d'origine protetta. There you go. Whatever that means. It's protected. The tomatoes are protected. Okay, so we're going to move on. So in here we have a block of goat cheese, unflavored. Okay, so it's 11 ounces of goat cheese. And to that, we're going to add a clove of garlic, chopped up very finely, lemon zest, 1.5 teaspoons of lemon zest, fresh. And this is from my garden. These are from my garden. These are fresh herbs that I have in my garden box on my balcony. And take a look at it. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to chop these up pretty finely. These are all fresh herbs. If you don't have fresh herbs, you can use the dry ones. No problem. So let's get to chopping these up. I mean, you can also buy goat cheese that's already flavored if you wanted to, but this is just a nice nice option. So that was basil, fresh basil, chopped chives, and I have the amounts to use under the video. But it's about, what is it, tablespoon of fresh basil. This is chives, 1.5 teaspoons. You can sort of eyeball it, you know. That's that. And then we have fresh oregano. And you want to take them off the stems. So it's nice and the oregano is probably 1.5 teaspoons. Teaspoons? Yep. I'm gonna chop that up finely. Like that. And parsley, fresh parsley. And parsley, we have chives, parsley, 1.5 tablespoons. So again, we take off the stems. Just bring your hands down the stem, and that does it. Okay, that's about 1.5. Okay, so this gets finely chopped as well. When we moved from our house in the suburbs, I wasn't sure I'd ever be able to have my fresh herb garden, but my trusty sous chef made me one. So we have fresh herbs all summer. All right, so we're going to mix this up, have it well mixed. And we're going to have this sit for a while as well. And when we come back, I will show you what we do next with it. So we'll put some freshly cracked black pepper, some Himalayan sea salt, and we mix that up. Now, in the meantime, what I've done is, and it's going to be going on crostini. So what I did was I took a baguette, I cut it about, what, 1/2 inch, I guess, or 1 inch, and I sliced it on the angle. I brushed it with olive oil, and I put it on the broiler for about 2 minutes just to crust it up. And then when we come back, I'm going to take the goat cheese, I'm going to spread it on the other side, and that's going to go into the broiler as well until it gets nice and bubbly. And I'll show you that when we come back. All right, so I'll see you, I guess, at this point another couple of hours, and the gazpacho will be done, and we'll be able to try it. So I'll see you soon. Hi, everybody, welcome back. Well, here you have it. It's been about 4 hours. The gazpacho has been chilled. Again, if you want to do it overnight, you make it in the morning and serve it that evening, or make it in the evening and you serve it the next day. So what I did with crostini here is I broiled the top of them. I turned them over, put the garlic herb goat cheese on it, and I put it back under the broiler for a little bit, just to brown them up a little bit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drizzle them with a little bit of olive oil, like that, and sea salt flakes. These are kind of hard to find, but we found them at Saint-Saison grocery store. But look how flaky they are. They're different than regular salt. They're sea salt flakes, and they're just a very mild and very delicate, delicate flavor. So you just put these on top like that. And let's try the gazpacho. Looks delicious. We're going to finish it off with a little bit of parsley, fresh parsley. There you have it. A couple of crostini on the side. Piece of art. Okay, so let's try it. Such a nice, refreshing meal. Oh, it's so good. Oh, very good. Crostini. Oh, that's good. It's warm, delicious, beautiful complement to this. You can also use this as an appetizer when you're having a party. Delicious. Okay, so things I want to talk about. 1, if you like what you see, please subscribe and like underneath the video. Stay safe. A question you can put in the comments underneath. What summer meal do you like, or summer snack do you like to munch on? Sangria is not, doesn't count. Just a snack meal. And that's it, I guess. And don't forget the mess, or at least forget the mess. See you next time. Enjoy.